you doing? Nice to see you. Hello. That's a thing. Hey guys, how you doing? You guys use Lyft around here? Is that thing you guys still use? People use Lyft here? Like, I just tried it for the first time and I'm not a fan at all. Because I used to use Uber in the past and I stopped using that. Just tried Lyft for the first time. And when the guy pulled around in his car, it actually, like, I recognized the driver in the car, but instead of having the mustache, it actually had a U in the windshield, like it was an Uber. And I leaned inside the car and asked him, like, isn't this a Lyft? I thought that's what I ordered. And then he looked up and realized the U was there. And he was like, oh, sorry, let me switch my car to Lyft mode. So then he took some garbage and threw it on the passenger seat floor. I was like, okay, ready. Didn't know what to do, so I fist bumped him, got in the car. You know? You ever realize that you're not as, like, powerful as you think you are? Like, you're not as tough as you think you are? I just had this happen where a couple weeks ago, I was waiting for my bus, and I was, like, the only guy under my streetlight waiting. I was just hanging out for a while, reading a book, waiting for my bus, and this lady, it was like 11 at night, this lady comes up and stands next to me, but she's, like, irresponsibly close, you know? Like, she's, like, accidentally taps me a couple times. But it's just an accident, and it starts to bother me, so I asked her, are you sure you want to stand so close to some guy you don't know in the middle of the night? She was like, you're reading a book by Tina Fey. I was like, oh, okay, I'm a harmless man, I understand. Makes a lot of sense. I also realized that I have a commitment problem, because I can't sit down to watch the movie Gladiator, because it's 2.5 hours long. But I will watch episodes of Bob's Burgers for 9 hours in a row. Tina's my spirit animal, so, you know. I actually have this problem where it's like, with love, where I fall in love way too often. Like, it happens far too fast for me. I talked to my friend about it after watching a romantic comedy, and I asked him, it was Serendipity, underrated, asked him, like, do you think you're ever going to fall in love again? And then he's like, actually, I have something to reveal to you. Like, I've never fallen in love. It's never happened for me, you know? I think I'm just too much into pound and poon, you know? Just poon, pound, town, population, me. That's what it's about. What about you? You gonna fall in love again? I'm like, oh, this is different. I can't relate at all. I have fallen in love 7 times today, actually. Like, while we were talking, it became 8. I saw a girl with a Legend of Zelda shirt behind you, and that's all I needed. Like, I've had a situation, like, I've had a thing where, like, I've seen, like, a girl, just, like, the right girl's face, and I've jumped into the future of where it might go. It's like, oh, she looks really nice. Just hit it off for a while, have a couple good conversations, go on some sweet dates, maybe some hand-holding happens, that'd be real cool. Go on more dates, start to get a relationship, go steady, then start to fall in love. We find cute things about each other. Like, we both realize that we both think Inception wasn't that bad, Eric. And we keep going out, but then we start to get stale. The relationship gets stale. Like, we meet each other's parents, but we're not excited about it. And then we start getting fights about weird stuff, like about how apparently you can apologize incorrectly. Go fuck yourself, Karen! You can apologize incorrectly somehow. And then you realize that relationships shouldn't be together because we have conversations for days at a time that only consist of the word fine. Just saying fine, fine, fine for 24 hours in a row. And then eventually you split up and you realize it's really uncomfortable. And then I snap out of this whole experience. I look back at the girl's face on my phone and I swipe left and I'm done with the whole thing. Because it was Tinder the whole time. Okay, so I actually, like, not from here. I'm from a very small, like, farm town. I'm not used to the big city. I'm from a farm town where, like, it's really old and backwards. Like, their typing is a skill, you know what I mean? Like, no one's ever proud of anything there. The only things people were proud of there was having the yellowest corn in town and being the first one to get married right after high school. It was like a competition. And I jumped in that a little bit once, like I got, like, engaged after high school, and now I think that maybe we shouldn't jump into those things that fast. Like, I think love is a beautiful thing. Like, love is great. But also, I love that girl that I got engaged to more than anything else in the world at the same time, but I also would have traded her for a PlayStation 3, you know what I mean? Like, not even to have it, just to, like, play it for 20 minutes and trade it in and you get store credit. Just a very All I got was agreements. That's very depressing. Really worried about you guys. How you doing? I actually hope you're on board, because I'm going to tell it anyway, whether you want me to or not. I grew up super poor, actually. Like, I didn't understand a lot of things growing up. I misinterpreted too many things. Like, the worst one, actually, that I got a lot of shit for was I misinterpreted this lyric by Kanye West growing up. It says, I don't know why I need a stylist. I shop so much I could speak Italian. And when I heard that, I was like, man, this guy really likes spaghetti. Guys, it's a real dumb joke. That's the end of that joke. And if you're not enjoying that, that's your fault, honestly. You just need to turn up the happiness knob in your life. Just get into that. Like, I did grow up, I grew up in the suburb part of my farm town, so, growing up, there was one time, this real weird time where I met my friend's, pet turtle. And I came home one day from karate practice, because when you live in a suburb, you go to karate. That's it. And when I went to his house, he had his turtle there. And then he was like, you want to see the turtle? And I was like, yeah, sure. It's a really cool, nice-sized turtle. It's like 2 footballs big. And I walk up to it, and its legs and its head are inside the shell. So then he's like, oh, sorry, you have to say hi to him later. He's inside his home right now. Like, oh, you're referring to his shell as his home. That's fun. You mean like a turtle lives basically he moves around with his home. A turtle lives in a mobile home? Are turtles the hicks of the animal kingdom? And he's like, I don't know. So I walked up, put my ear next to the turtle, and I heard this sound inside the shell. He was like, that's weird. I put my ear closer to the shell. It sounded a little bit louder. I couldn't understand it. So I put my ear on the turtle shell, and I hear the end of what it's saying. It's saying, you might be a redneck. He was listening to Jeff Foxworthy inside the turtle shell the whole time. Turtles are rednecks. How about that? All right, you guys aren't on board for the dumb jokes. How about this one instead? I really don't like pickles, and I get shit about that from my friends. I don't like pickles at all. Until recently, when I had a bartender leave the pickles on my burger, and I bit in the burger, and I was like, oh, this tastes actually pretty good. This is fun and crunchy. This is good. Get some flavors, get some spice to life. Oh no! And then my friends are like, how do you think it is? Because they all knew. It was like, it's still terrible. And I realize I'm just as bad as a homophobic senator now. So instead, whenever I order a burger, I have them leave the pickles on. But I just shout about it instead to cover it up. Like, these are disgusting and unnatural and no one else should have these. And then I run to the bathroom and shove it in my mouth. I'm a really big fan of pizza. Love pizza so much. I also love mac and cheese. That's real good. I really just... this is my impression of a comic who's just a hype man who talks about food. How about mac and cheese? I also realized I just like anything with cheese and bread. That's it. I really just like cheese boards, actually. That's the best food there is cheese boards. Like, I feel like whoever invented the cheese board was just saying, let's cut to the chase so we can cut the cheese. Let's get real into this. Like, I really like cheese boards because it just has a couple elements. I like them for the same reason that I like college plays. They're minimalistic and pretentious. It's a real specific part of the crowd that appealed to. And I was just a real big fan of that. Like, you know a couple elements going on here, you know a couple things that are going on, but then you feel like you should be guilty by the time you're done with it. So, I'm a big fan. I realized that the human soul exists. I can prove that's a real thing. I found this out when I was real drunk one night, actually. I came home and fell asleep in my bed. And I was like drunk enough to like talk to my pillow, you know? So I did. I was like, hey buddy, you're filled with a bunch of goose feathers. Maybe we should have a magic dream journey. And it responded. It said, I'm down. See, we just felt our souls die a little bit. And now we know they exist. You're welcome. We're going home better people. All right, I'm done. Thank you.